And in the last 2 years, we've really become more engaged in the topic and the issue of port trucking and how it is affecting those communities that we historically have worked with, specifically Georgetown and South Park. The port is located in the Sodo downtown, a little bit north of downtown, or north of Sodo district, but a lot of the traffic that is affected by the port occurs in Georgetown and South Park. 2 years ago, in the summer of 2009, CCEJ partnered with SAGE to do a survey, a community survey in the South Park and Georgetown neighborhood to find out what neighbors were saying about the health of their community and how the port and those elements of the port affect, or they believe affect, their health. Now, if you live or have been to South Park or Georgetown, you know that not only are there a lot of trucks in that neighborhood, there are not a lot of sidewalks, and there's also a lot of airport noise. And the airport noise is also connected to the port because they are in charge of the airport. So those neighbors are feeling as though they are being inundated by both the traffic on the street and the air pollution overhead. Some of the outcomes of the survey, now our survey wasn't scientific, we didn't pick randomly, we knocked on as many doors as we possibly could, and we used volunteers to gather our data and our information, and we found out that 3 out of 5 people who live in those neighborhoods believe that the port is affecting their health. There's a much higher rate of asthma and heart disease in that neighborhood, and that has yet to be determined by any significant health study of that neighborhood. But we are trying to push that question to be asked and to really have the health of people who live in South Park and Georgetown examined more closely. The other issues that affect those neighborhoods are that nobody's really paying attention to the layers of pollution that are occurring in those neighborhoods. Because it's not just the port truck drivers, it's all of the other industrial waste that's going on and all of the other transportation central locations that exist in that neighborhood. Georgetown is home also to the school district's bus system. South Park also hosts the South End transfer station. That's where all of our garbage goes. So you can see that it's not just the port trucking, but it's one additional layer of pollution that we're adding to that neighborhood. The port provides over 3,000 ship loads, over 3,000 trips in and out of the port every day, and over 700 airplane flights overhead. So you can imagine that if you live in that neighborhood, you are being both on both sides, both on the street and through the air, you are being affected by that noise pollution. We conducted over 230 surveys, and we found that people really are feeling the effects of the additional air pollution in their neighborhood. And it is not just those people who live in the neighborhood. Our concern is also for the truck drivers. Because most of the drivers are making less than minimum wage, they are trying to save on their trucks. They are keeping trucks in service longer than they should. Their trucks not only pollute from the exhaust, but reports of some truck drivers are saying that that exhaust, while you're sitting in that truck idling and waiting for a load, is also affecting you. Now, we applaud the port in trying to change the way the pollution that affects us occurs by making those trucks newer and less polluting. But we don't think it's fair that that change occurs on the backs of the drivers, who can hardly pay to keep the trucks that they have now running in good condition.